Carrie says, can you give a few examples of up-leveling standards? I think we've given some examples, but let's see if we can give a few more. You want to take that?
Sure. Hi, Carrie. I would say that up-leveling your standards, some examples might be that you wait longer to become physically intimate, right? So I literally had a lady that I was talking with. She's a friend of mine, and she's like, I can't, these guys just like, you know, they just want to go out on 1 or 2 dates and then they disappear and I never see them again or hear from them again. And I was like, you're not sleeping with these guys, are you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, on your first date? And she's like, well, I mean, sometimes on my second or third. I'm like, no. That's why they're leaving you. Even if they're good men, they bond to the sex and they're like, okay, all right, that's done. Thanks, I feel a lot better. And then he goes on with his life. No, don't do that. So one example is wait longer. And inside of that idea of physical intimacy, what are your standards for how long do you date him before you let him kiss you, right? And then do you let him come over to your house? Do you go over to his house? Does he drive you to come and pick you up? What are your standards in these areas? At what point do you introduce him to your family and your friends? These are standards, right? He has to meet. I would also say standards around communication. How do you want to be spoken to? If there's some kind of frustration, how do you resolve? I personally am not a yeller. I don't yell. I don't scream. In fact, I very rarely get angry. Very, very, very rarely get angry. And so I will stay up all night and talk with you until we can figure it out. Does he own his part of the misunderstanding? Does he apologize? Does he listen or does he interrupt? So standards around communication are really, really critical. And then how does he treat other people? This would be the third piece. When you watch him, what are your standards for how he interacts with servers, with people if you're going to the movie, with strangers? Is he generous with his money? Is he patient with people? And then listen to how he talks about people afterwards. Does he speak highly of people, or does he speak a little bit maybe like he's upset with people, or they're not good enough, or they're not smart enough, or they don't do things right? Raise your standards to make sure that he treats people impeccably and he treats you impeccably. So those are some of the standards. Also, I would say, if and when you do go to his house, how does he keep his home? How does he keep his car? And I know women love to look at his shoes. How does he keep his shoes? Because when you look at that, you understand how he's likely to treat you and how he's likely to treat your home together. So these are some standards, I would say: how he treats other people, what his living situation looks like, how he communicates with you, especially around difficult topics. Does he listen? Does he interrupt? And then also set your standards, allow your standards to go out a little further around the physical intimacy. Okay. When I told that one lady, she was like, well, like, how long should I wait? Like a week? And I was like, longer. She's like, 2 weeks? I was like, longer. She goes, a month? I was like, longer. She's like, 2 months? I was like, how about 3? How about 4? She's like, oh no, that can never happen. I can't do that. No man is going to wait that long. I was like, a good man will wait that long. The bad men are going to leave. And a good man is going to leave you if you do it too soon. Raise those standards. So how does he treat himself? How does he treat other people? How does he treat his stuff? How does he treat your stuff? How does he communicate with you? And is he willing to wait to become physically intimate with you? Are you worth waiting for?
Thank you, PJ. And I just want to add a little something to this here, because again, this is so important. How do you raise your standards? One of the key ways I think you raise your standards, especially in the early stages of a relationship, when you're just starting to get to know a man, you're just starting to date, is because you are a woman of high value, you are aware of where you invest your time, attention, affection, and you don't put all of your focus, time, attention, or affection into a man until you know how he's showing up and that he is consistently showing up and treating you well. Because what happens often for women is we meet a man that we're excited about or that there's chemistry with, And, we jump ahead a few steps in terms of giving him a lot of attention or time or focus or affection before he's really earned the right to have that level of attention and priority status in your life. And I think this is one of the key ways that you raise your standards is you keep showing up as a lovely feminine woman, but you approach these new opportunities, like I said, from a place of curiosity and observation. And you are determining kind of the pacing and the timing that feels comfortable to you based on how he's treating you, how he's continuing to show up, how he's showing up in terms of treating you like a priority, and the time and attention he's putting into you before you prematurely put your time, attention, focus, energy into that relationship or that man. Because this is one of the biggest sources of heartbreak or disappointment, is when women think there's more happening than there actually is prematurely. And this is one of the way of holding your standards and of showing up as that high value woman. It's really, really important. And the physical piece, of course, is a big part of that too. And PJ, I want to thank you because you have been awesome. You've been so great. It's been such a fun conversation.
Thank you.
And I think a really important conversation. And ladies, we hope that what we've shared tonight, some of the thoughts and ideas, concepts that we've shared tonight are reminding you of your own intrinsic value. It's not even about what you're having to do. It's just by you being the lovely, amazing woman that you are, the lovely, amazing lady that you are, and that you can inspire the right kind of man into your life. So that's our hope and our intention and our blessing for you tonight. And we're really so grateful that you joined us. And almost 2 hours has passed, and I feel like we could go about 4 more.
Absolutely. Because we love to give so much. And we really want to make sure that you realize that you matter. You matter. And when you realize that you matter and you raise those standards, the men that start to come into your life will recognize that you matter also. And he will inspire you as much as you inspire him. Mm-hmm. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're remarkable, and you get to breathe that in and be exactly what you were born to be.
That's beautiful. So ladies, I'm so honored you've joined us. Be sure to check out PJ's site as well, pjswisdom.com, because as you can tell, he's an amazing fountain of wisdom and a beautiful human being. I find him to be very inspiring. I told PJ I'm really particular about who I invite to do these live events with me. And so I'm really honored that you were willing, able, and showed up with such generosity, PJ. And ladies, we're sending you lots of love.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye for now.